Stop caring. Listen to this every morning. Every morning you wake up, something happens before you even fully open your eyes. Your mind begins its routine. It starts scanning. It starts checking. It starts asking questions you did not consciously choose to ask. What do they think of me? Did they see what I posted? Did that person respond yet? What did they mean by that? Am I doing enough? Am I enough? And just like that, before your feet even hit the floor, your day belongs to other people. This is the epidemic that nobody is talking about loudly enough. Not a physical disease. Not a financial crisis. But a crisis of inner freedom. A generation of people who have handed over the most powerful thing they possess, their peace of mind, to the opinions, reactions, and judgments of others. And they do it every single morning before the day even begins. Today that changes. What you are about to hear is not a feel-good pep talk. It is not a collection of quotes designed to make you feel temporarily inspired before you go back to the same patterns. This is a direct transmission of one of the most powerful and most misunderstood teachings in the entire history of human philosophy. The Stoic teaching on indifference. On truly, deeply, completely stopping the need for external approval and learning to live from the inside out. If you are ready for that, stay with me. Because what follows could genuinely change the way you move through every single day for the rest of your life. Let us start with the truth that most people spend their entire lives running from. You are not responsible for what other people think of you. Read that again. Let it land. You are not responsible for what other people think of you. Not your family. Not your friends. Not strangers on the internet. Not colleagues who whisper. Not people who misunderstood you. Not people who judged you without knowing the full story. Their thoughts about you are theirs. They belong to them entirely. They were formed through their own experiences, their own wounds, their own biases, and their own limitations. And yet most people treat other people's opinions as though they are facts, as though they carry weight, as though they define something real about who you are. They do not. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher who ruled the most powerful empire on earth while simultaneously writing some of the most profound personal reflections in human history, understood this at a cellular level. He wrote to himself in his private journal, words he never intended anyone to read, that it is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That it is possible to do everything right and still be misunderstood. And that your job is not to control the outcome. Your job is to act with virtue, with integrity, with full commitment to your values, and then release the rest completely. He was not writing that for an audience. He was writing it as a daily reminder to himself. Because even as emperor, even with all the power in the world, he had to consciously practice not caring what people thought. That tells you something important. This is not a natural state for most people. It is a practice, a discipline, a choice you make again and again until it becomes who you are. And it begins every morning. So let us talk about what it actually means to stop caring. Because I want to be very precise here, because this teaching is often misunderstood in a way that makes people colder, more isolated, more disconnected. That is not what the Stoics meant. That is not what this is about. Stopping caring does not mean you become numb. It does not mean you stop loving people or stop wanting good things for the world around you. It does not mean you become indifferent to genuine connection or stop feeling anything at all. That is not strength. That is just a different kind of prison. What it means is something far more specific and far more powerful. It means you stop allowing the opinions of people who do not know your full story to determine how you feel about yourself. It means you stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces where you were never meant to fit. It means you stop editing your truth to make people comfortable who would not even notice if you disappeared. It means you stop measuring your worth by metrics that were never designed for you in the first place. That is what stopping caring truly means. And when you understand it that way, it is not coldness. It is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. Epictetus taught his students using what has become known as the dichotomy of control. He said that everything in life falls into one of two categories: things that are up to us and things that are not up to us. Things that are up to us include our judgments, our intentions, our desires, our efforts, and our responses. Things that are not up to us include everything else: the weather, the economy, other people's behavior, other people's opinions, what people say about us behind closed doors, how we are perceived, whether we are liked, whether we are understood. And here is the teaching that changes everything. Suffering, according to Epictetus, comes from trying to control what is not up to us. Every single time you suffer because of what someone thinks of you, you are trying to control something that was never in your hands. You are placing your peace inside something that was always going to be outside your reach. And you will spend your entire life chasing a moving target that you can never catch. But the moment you draw that line clearly, the moment you say with full conviction that their opinion belongs to them and my peace belongs to me, something shifts. Not all at once, not without practice, but it shifts. And every morning you choose to reinforce that line, you become a little more free. Now let us go deeper, because understanding this intellectually is only the beginning. There is a reason you care what people think. There is a reason it is so difficult to let go of the need for approval. And it is not weakness. It is actually biology. Human beings are social animals. For most of our evolutionary history, being rejected by the group meant death. Being misunderstood meant isolation. Being judged negatively meant you lost your place in the community that kept you alive. So your nervous system learned to treat social approval as a survival need. It learned to scan constantly for signs of rejection. It learned to prioritize belonging over authenticity, acceptance over truth. That wiring is still running in your system today. Only now it is not a tribe of 50 people deciding whether you eat or starve. It is followers, likes, comments, glances from strangers, and judgments from people who have never invested a single meaningful thing in your life. The Stoics knew nothing about neuroscience in the modern sense, but they understood human nature with breathtaking precision. They understood that most of what we call suffering is not caused by actual events, but by the meaning we assign to those events. By the stories we tell about what it means when someone does not approve of us. By the narrative we build around a single look, a single comment, a single moment of perceived rejection. And the practice they prescribed was radical for its time. It is still radical today. They said, examine your impressions. Before you respond to a feeling, before you let it drive your behavior, pause. Look at it. Ask whether it is based on something real or something assumed. Ask whether the story you are telling yourself is actually true or whether it is just the most familiar story. Ask whether the opinion you are afraid of actually has any real power over your life, or whether you are the one choosing to give it power. That pause, that moment of examination, is where your freedom begins. Here is something I want you to sit with for a moment. Think about the last time you changed your behavior because of what someone might think. Maybe you did not speak up in a meeting because you were afraid of sounding foolish. Maybe you did not share something you created because you were afraid of being judged. Maybe you dressed a certain way, went somewhere you did not want to go, stayed silent when you should have spoken, or agreed when every part of you wanted to disagree. All because of a thought in someone else's mind that you cannot even verify exists. How much of your life has been shaped by that invisible audience? The Stoics called this living according to nature versus living according to opinion. Living according to nature means acting in alignment with your deepest values, your genuine self, your actual purpose. Living according to opinion means performing a version of yourself designed to manage how others perceive you. And the tragedy is that most people spend their entire lives in the performance without ever questioning whether the audience is even worth performing for. You were not born to perform. You were born to live. And living, truly living, requires the courage to be seen as you actually are, to express what you actually think, to pursue what you actually believe in, regardless of whether it gets applause. Marcus Aurelius put it in a way that still cuts through every excuse. He wrote that it never ceases to amaze him how much people love themselves more than others, yet care more about what others think of them than what they think of themselves. Read that again slowly. We love ourselves more than we love others. We say our own peace matters most. We say our own happiness is important. And yet we sacrifice that peace and that happiness on the altar of other people's opinions every single day. That contradiction is where most human suffering lives. The morning is where you can break that pattern. Here is the morning practice I want to give you. Not a complicated ritual. Not something that requires hours. Something simple, direct, and rooted in the oldest and most tested wisdom on earth. When you wake up tomorrow, before you reach for your phone, before you check any notification, before you let the world in, take 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, ask yourself 3 questions. The first question is, what do I actually value today? Not what will make people approve of me. Not what will make me look good. What do I actually value? Is it honesty? Is it contribution? Is it creativity? Is it presence with the people I love? Name it. Own it. Let it be the anchor of your day. The second question is, what is mine to control today? Run through the dichotomy. What can I actually influence through my effort, my attitude, and my choices? Focus your energy there exclusively. Everything else, release it before the day even begins. The third question is, what would I do today if I genuinely did not care what anyone thought? Sit with that question honestly, because the answer to that question is almost always the direction of your real life. It is the business you would start, the conversation you would have, the boundary you would draw, the creative work you would share, the life you would actually live if fear of judgment were not standing in the way. Those 3 questions, practiced every morning, will begin to rewire the way you move through your days. They will shift you from reactive to intentional, from performance to authenticity, from a life driven by external opinion to a life driven by internal clarity. And over time, something remarkable happens. You stop needing the approval because you have something better. You have your own approval. You have the deep, quiet, unshakable sense that you are moving in alignment with what actually matters to you. And that feeling, that inner alignment, is something no external opinion can give you and no external judgment can take away. Seneca wrote in one of his letters that the first step toward greatness is to be authentic. He said that most people spend their lives pretending, performing, and adjusting themselves to the expectations of others, and in doing so they lose the only thing that was ever truly theirs: themselves. The world will always have opinions about you. It has always had opinions about every person who ever dared to live fully and out loud. The question is never whether you will be judged. The question is whether the judgment will define you. You are not what people say you are. You are not what they think you are. You are not the version of yourself that exists in someone else's mind. You are the choices you make when no one is watching. You are the values you hold when there is nothing to gain from holding them. You are the way you treat people who can do nothing for you. You are the work you put in when there is no audience. You are the person you are in the silence of your own honest reflection. That person is worth protecting. That person is worth fighting for. And protecting that person starts with refusing to hand them over to the court of public opinion every single morning before you have even had the chance to fully wake up. Stop giving the first moments of your day to the noise. Stop letting other people's perceptions be the first thing your mind processes. Stop beginning each day in a state of quiet anxiety about whether you are enough in someone else's eyes. You are enough, right now, as you are. With all your contradictions and your growth and your unanswered questions. You are enough. And the practice of truly believing that, of living from that truth rather than performing against it, is the most important practice of your life. The Stoics called it eudaimonia. It is often translated as happiness, but it means something much richer than that. It means flourishing. It means living in full alignment with your highest self, your deepest values, your genuine nature. Not as a destination you reach one day when everything is perfect, but as a way of being you choose right now, in this morning, in this moment, regardless of what anyone thinks about it. That is what stopping caring truly gives you. Not isolation, not indifference, not a cold detachment from the world, but a deep-rooted, unshakable freedom. The freedom to be exactly who you are without apology, without performance, and without waiting for anyone's permission. Wake up tomorrow and choose that freedom. The day you stop living for an audience is the day your real life begins. If this reached something in you, if it gave you even one shift in the way you see yourself and the way you move through your mornings, please subscribe to this channel right now. Every video we create is built on the same foundation. Real wisdom, ancient and proven, delivered in a way that is designed to actually change how you think and how you live. Not just for a day, for good. Subscribe, share this with someone who wakes up every morning carrying weight that does not belong to them, and we will see you in the next one. Your freedom is waiting.